son of a...
What's up, guys? Penny. I want to prepare you for something you're about to hear right now. I am going to compliment and praise Ellen, Rosie O'Donnell, and Cher, and a handful of other celebrities from Hollywood who did something honorable. And here it is. You left. You fled. When we all elected President Trump, because that's the country we want to live in, you said, I don't want to live there anymore, and you left, and you got the hell out. And you know what? You promised you would do that, and then you did it. And I respect that. We have a better country without you, and maybe it's a win-win for both of us. Now, let's not talk about the fact that none of you fled to Haiti, none of you fled to South America, none of you fled to Africa. Strange that. None of you fled to communist China, even though that's what you see as the model of a society. You all fled to the whitest nations in Europe. Strange that. It's a topic for another time. Somebody you didn't take with you is one of your degenerate Hollywood friends, Sean Penn. Sean Penn says that Donald Trump's trying to destroy the world and the most evil man in the world. Well, Sean Penn, I guess, would know something about that, since Sean Penn has hung out with communist dictators in Venezuela. Here he is with Hugo Chavez and Maduro. Let's ask AI something really fast. How many people have communism killed? Because, Maduro and Hugo Chavez, and here he is with Fidel Castro, his brother, Raul Castro, who's in charge of Cuba right now. Sean Penn says that Donald Trump's a bad guy. So are these communist dictators bad guys? Let's look. Estimates of deaths for communist regimes figure in the tens of millions, but the most professional sources say it's around 100 million in the last century. The Black Book of Communism says 94.36 million deaths. Got it. Okay. Some of those, a lot of those, were in Latin American communist dictatorships, the kind of Latin American communist dictatorships that Sean Penn is cozying up to right here. You ever heard of a guy named El Chapo? This is, how many people have El Chapo killed? It's like a famous mobster and cartel kingpin. El Chapo himself personally killed between 2,000 and 3,000 people. Got it? His bodyguard testified to personally witnessing El Chapo brutally beat and shoot to death rival cartel members. Here's Sean Penn with El Chapo. On an unrelated note, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Penn, who went on Bill Maher's little podcast this week, admitted to being mentally ill and psychiatrically deteriorated, feeble, lonely, old, homeless, drunk. And he appeared with taped up sneakers. Says he hasn't bathed in a week. Yeah, that's actually, you can see his sneakers are literally taped up. Bad role. Meanwhile, President Trump, obviously, in the epoch of his life, Sean Penn is he really does look like the town drunk, doesn't he? Indistinguishable from like a vagabond on the streets living in a tent in L.A. Sean Penn, reprising his role as drunken communist activist guy, makes an appearance on the Bill Maher podcast. What exactly did he say on the Bill Maher podcast? Oh boy, we're making a lot of news with this one. Bill Maher eviscerates Sean Penn with ultimate comeback after a Hollywood star calls out his dinner with Trump. Oh boy, yikes. Penn stunned the comedian on his Club Random podcast and said he would never have met with Donald Trump. To which Bill Maher retorted, really? You'll meet with effing Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States? Penn met with Hugo Chavez in Caracas. Oh, boy. He met with Raul Castro in Cuba. Well. Would you look at that? This is a wild clip. Wait till you see it. It's amazing. Sean Penn says he's happy to meet with dictators, but not with the President of the United States. I would not accept his invitation. I personally wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room. Oh, yes. Sean Penn has such high standards. Yeah, if I were, let's say, representing a cause, I would not fool myself that I was going to get anywhere with him. What a bad attitude. You don't know what... You don't know that. You don't know anything, says Bill Maher, who just met with Donald Trump, right? And had a great time. Says he loved Donald Trump, actually. Penn's problem is his view of Trump is based on what's inside of Penn's political bubble. It's a matter of ignorance versus experience. Maher chose experience, the latter. It's interesting. He is absolutely right here. He's getting all the write-ups, ladies and gentlemen. Penn is a dummy playing the part of what he imagines a smart man to be. Maher gets stupid when high, but not terminally so. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and watch the man who's willing to literally snuggle with communist dictators get put in the ground by Bill Maher.
I have not been invited. The only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no. It's a long flight. I see no.
Really, you meet with fucking
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the president of the United States.
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of agendas that I had. I don't think that there's anything that I would. I just personally wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room, including the personality.
It's not a matter of trusting it. It's a matter of seeing it, matter of experiencing, matter of knowing it.
Yeah, it's an
more knowledge. It's like saying I don't want this medical test because I don't want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I have some good friends that are.
I said this many times within the piece when I did it, that like it's up to. I'm just giving you the report. It's up to you to make the decision. Who do you think is the real guy? I'm telling you, there's a very different guy behind closed doors in a different setting. Now,
or capable of performatively seeing that. Yeah.
Well, one of the my my friends who believe in astrology would say he's a Gemini. Of course, there's two of them. Okay, that's one way to look at it. Other people will say, well, the real guy is the guy you met, and he's playing this clown on TV. And other people will say the reverse. He's well. I mean, it seems harder to do the reverse. I mean, can you really pretend to be sane? You can pretend to be insane. I think it's harder to pretend to be sane, to be measured, and like all the things I said, which is just what happened. Mm-hmm. So again, there's three parts of this. Would you go to the dinner? I think you're crazy not to want to see up close the person who's this important in everybody's lives for the last decade.
I completely understand that.
Two, are you going to lie about it? I'm sorry, I'm not a liar. I don't lie, so I told the truth. And then three, do I go back to doing what I always did? Yes, I did.
Yeah, but you could have told more truth or you could have told less truth.
I told a lot of truth. I told everything.
I would have enjoyed a little more brevity on that. But I absolutely understand that.
But that's just emotional. You were just triggered.
It's possible. It's possible. It's true that.
But I
would for some reason this particular president triggers me rather often.
Exactly. He makes people crazy. But he's not making me crazy. But so you really wouldn't go?
No, I don't. I'm not saying I think I wouldn't, because let me put it this way: what I know I would not do.
Especially, he's very.
I would not go. Let's say, so for example, when we talk about this very different president of Uruguay, there were things that Uruguay had models of in development that could be very helpful to Haiti, and I went to see if we could get some training from them and so on and so forth, which we did. And whereas if I were, let's say, representing a cause célèbre, say it was Ukraine, say it was whatever it was, I would not fool myself that I was going to get anywhere with him. I know that I wouldn't. I know that I would have no influence.
Bad attitude. You don't know that. You don't know anything. He's a guy who frequently seems to go by what the last thing he heard was. I'll tell you this about Donald Trump, and you don't know it because you don't go to dinners. It's all about.
I didn't go to dinner with President Trump. That's true.
You should. It's all about personal relationships.
I've not been invited.
Okay, I will get you an invite. He's a star fucker in a way. I bet you he would like to meet you, and you would have a.
Yeah, he'll see the show. He says, if I see him, they're going to call me a star fucker.
I don't think he watches the podcast. He does watch the show. He's a faithful viewer.
He's got people that do his thing. Dan Bongino would be knocking on your door if you didn't go to dinner.
That's not why I did it. And it could work out the other way. You don't know. He's very unpredictable. And
We are living in incredible times. I can't believe I'm saying it. But way to go. Way to go, Rosie and Ellen, because you actually promised to flee and you did flee and you made the country a better place. And way to go, Bill Maher, for actually being like liberal and open-minded about these kind of things. And calling out these degenerate, smelly communists that come on your show. Good job. Good job all around. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Until then, see you.